Hi everyone, Patricia Worby, Alchemy Therapy is my emotional audit, and now emotionalmasterclass.com as well, and my rapidly expanding repertoire of courses and programs. So I haven't posted for a while because obviously I've been busy training, developing stuff, and I regret that really because I do like to keep in touch with you all. But what I have been doing apart from that, apart from all the training, I've been reading this book, The Artist's Way, by Julia Cameron, and it's been on my must buy, must get round to list for quite a while, and then it kind of appeared in a charity shop. For non-UK people, that's like a thrift store. It's like where you get secondhand goods, and it just popped in and sort of spoke to me and said, "Buy me." So it was like, oh, so now is the time to read this. And I think I'm on, I don't know if it's chapter two, I think it's week two, chapter two. I've been doing my morning pages, which means basically writing stuff at will for no one else but you, 3 pages every morning. I haven't managed to keep to every morning. I've done about three in the last 7, but hey, I made a start. Um, but I've been reading, yeah, some of this stuff about crazy makers that I really wanted to read out to you because it just made me think, oh, how many times have I had that in my life? People who are blocked creatively themselves will find anyone trying to work through their block into creativity, whatever that is, not just being an artist, but say, doing what I do, being a, educator, writer, and therapist, and they will demand things of you that get in the way of your creativity. And so just some of the headlines here made me laugh. Uh, Crazy makers discount your reality. So they kind of, how no matter how important your work deadline or trajectory, they will violate your needs. So they will say something like, I know you asked me not to call at this time, but dot, 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 they are calling. Or they triangulate those they deal with. Now, I thought that was a beautiful phrase. I used to come across triangulation when measuring gardens because I used to be a garden designer. But listen, it's basically crazy makers thrive on energy, your energy. They set people against one another. So they triangulate, they create a sort of problem and stir up stuff. So and so was telling me you didn't do such and such, or I heard that so and so was saying this about you. And then you end up getting angry with so and so, even though it's a secondhand comment. You've no idea whether that person actually said what they said. And so you actually miss the fact that it's the person telling you that's setting what we call the cat amongst the pigeons, if you like. It's setting everything in motion, and it's designed to set you off kilter. Crazy makers are expert blamers. Nothing that goes wrong is ever their fault. And to hear them tell it, the fault is usually yours. You're the crazy one. You're the one with the problem. You're the one that needs to get fixed. Now, that, of course, is a really strong crossover with narcissism. Narcissism is a failed developmental stage. Like it's a normal part of growing up to be narcissistic. It's all about me. But some people never get beyond that, and they actually end up just being narcissists for the rest of their life, and they blame everyone else. Nothing is ever their fault, and they make you doubt your own reality as well, which is really frightening if you end up in a relationship like that. So it's a problem of lack of nurturance and support when they were young, but because they're not willing to go there and ever admit they're wrong, you have to be blamed and made the issue. Um, Crazy makers create dramas, but seldom where they belong. So they're often blocked creatives themselves, as I've said. They're usually highly sensitive people, but they've locked that down. They don't want to feel, they only want to tell you what's wrong. Um, and you coming into your own power is a huge threat to that because they need to be able to control you. And so if you show signs of being creative and wanting to break free, they're going to shut that down because it's going to make them jealous and threatened. And so they create dramas to distract you from that course. So you'll probably see that happening a lot. They hate they hate schedules apart from their own, right? They really like to keep things in order, but not for you to keep things in order, because they need to thrive on your chaos, which they're creating. And they serve their own purpose always. It's all about them. And then they deny that they have any issue whatsoever. So uh, they'll distract you from what the real issue is. But this is the most important point at the end, was if crazy makers are that destructive, what are we doing involved with them? And the answer, to be brief but brutal, is that we're that crazy ourselves, and we are that self-destructive. Really? Yes. As blocked creatives, we are willing to go to almost any lengths to remain blocked. As frightening and abusive as life with a crazy maker is, we find it far less threatening than the challenge of a creative life of our own. You see, because we don't know what it would be like. We don't know what freedom feels like. We've probably grown up with a narcissist in order to be attracted to another later in life. And so it's really important to know where you are in life, and that you've been doing this to yourself unwittingly, unconsciously. It's not your fault. We're not blaming you or me for living like this, but it's time to get real and, live the life you really want. And that may involve some very painful decisions. The final bit here is, if you are involved in a tortured tango with a crazy maker, stop dancing to his or her tune. That was such a great quote. I had to read that one out. A tortured tango, yeah. Pick up a book on codependency. Yeah, well, there's plenty of books, but I would also say there's plenty of material online now. And, she's talking about kind of getting out of the addiction of having to be controlled, because codependency is something you got used to when you were young. And so you look for that, and narcissists are very good at being very attractive at the beginning before they start to control you and shut things down. And it's what you're kind of familiar with, and so you will be attracted to those people until you decide you don't want to do that anymore and build your own self-esteem, which is really important. Now, I didn't ever live with a narcissist, but I have had relationships where I've been in the shadows, and I really wanted to come forward and live my own life according to my creed and develop my own creativity and skills. And that's what I'm doing. And sometimes it's hard work and sometimes it's exhausting, but it's wonderfully, wonderfully rewarding as well. So just would highly recommend this book and working through the program, because it's not just a book. You have to do some tasks at the end of each week. And the idea is that you discover kind of your creative source, and that's certainly what I'm all about. So anyway, those are my thoughts on The Artist's Way so far. Do keep subscribing. There's plenty on the channel to explore on all manner of things about anxiety, chronic illness, and the mind-body connection. And also, there's plenty now on the emotional audit program, which I launched last year. And Justine's been recording some wonderful videos about her journey through that program. And it's just lovely to hear her revelations, because I can tell you that it's a groundbreaking program, but when you hear it from the horse's mouth, as it were, from someone who's actually doing it and didn't expect to feel what she's feeling, I think that's really much more powerful. So check out the videos on this channel as well about that. Take care, everybody. Be joyful. See you soon. Bye.